GarageBand for iOS has got many different ways that you can input drums. You can either get the drummer itself, which plays you a beat, or you can play them in, or you can program them in using the step editor, or indeed in the main window itself. Many workarounds are possible. You can vary velocities and all of that stuff. But if you're playing electronic music, like dance music, and you want to play stuff in, how are you going to get faster rhythms without getting very tired? Well, let's have a look. Here we are then with GarageBand. You can see my face has changed a bit because of actually the light will affect the screen. Now I'm using a camera to record the iPad this time instead of the screenshot because actually it's important so you can see the tactile nature of how this is going to work. On GarageBand at the moment, you can see I've got open one of the drum machines. I've got the sequential drum tracks, which is an old drum machine, but essentially this works on any of them. So I've got my pads, as you can see here, with hi-hats, kick, snare. We know where we are with those. And you can play an 8-beat by simply tapping the hi-hats with the kick and the snare. And you can edit that afterwards and all of that. But what if I want a 16th beat, or if I want to play faster rhythms, because you're going to get pretty tired. Now, with and this goes for the smart chords on all the other instruments as well. If you use more than one finger, you get a different result. On the hi-hats, if I press 2 fingers and hold, there's your solution. Now, the distance that those 2 fingers are apart gives you quite interesting results in that you get faster rhythms. Now, you can get any of these rhythms. You can get 16ths, you can get triplet eighths, you can get eighths, and triplet quarters as well. So there are 4 different things that you can do. So you can just drag your fingers, open them up to get different results. However, how are you going to work the volume then? Because beforehand, the pad is kind of touch sensitive. It's not fantastic, but it gives you some dynamic control. When you hold your hi-hats over here, you get the various volume levels by simply moving your fingers up and down in a vertical direction while keeping the spacing the same. Because, of course, if you play something on here and open your fingers up, it's going to change the rhythm. Now, when you press record, something quite interesting happens in that it actually plays these different rhythmic delineations in free time with respect to the metronome. That may or may not be of use to you, but of course you can quantize everything afterwards. So if I I'll just check there's nothing on the page there. Yep, we've got a blank track. So if I go back to my drums, I'm going to just play something in and let's see what happens. So you can hear that those rhythmic delineations didn't actually match up with that metronome at all. But if we go back to the main page, you can see there I've got essentially my drum track. And lo and behold, it has lined all that up. Now if we I'll just mute that track. Get another track, but this time I'm going to have acoustic drums instead. Now, the same thing does work to an extent. It's not brilliant, but it works. If we've got hi-hats here, it does work on there, but we've got to be a little bit careful because of the nature of the drums on the acoustic drums, because we've got a closed hi-hat, the pedal one, and the open one. So, of course, if you want this multi-rhythm and you just do this, it's not really going to work. On the ride cymbal, it's a bit different. because the actual thing, the amount of screen is bigger, it's possible to get a better result. Although, of course, we do get the cymbal tap and the bell as well. Bass. We get that sort of thing as well. So there are numerous possibilities here. Absolutely numerous possibilities. Now, if we go back to the edit window on the sequential drum tracks here, we just go to Edit and just have a little look at this. You can see that it has put all of these things basically in the right place. Of course, velocities you can change afterwards. If I just take one of them and just press velocity, it'll give you a slider. And wherever else you are here, it will always open up the velocity window. If you scroll along, you have to reset the velocity. But for example, I could go up to on here, for example, velocity. Can change any of them to any particular value. For some reason it didn't stay with the velocity. There we go. So I can press play here, and it just change some of the velocities there. So, multi-tap on the drum machine. There are possibilities.